Okay friends, the story of Cayenne. So today is Monday the 9th and I think I got the car on Wednesday the 4th of May. So I just saw it online on an auction and the car didn't meet its reserve. I got this little improvements kit for the Touareg today, some rust remover, cabin ventilation motor, panel removal tools and some hood struts. Hood struts is the easiest job. All you gotta do is just open these clips up on the old ones. There's these clips and they should just pop off like this. They're like cheap, 10 euros a piece, but you just pretty much just pop these in and that's the hood strut for you. Although this was just 10 euros a piece, even one strut is keeping the hood up better than two were before. Pop these in and that's a job well done for you there. Some way I've left this hood trim piece of the car. Nothing insurmountable to a master mechanic like me. I just saved the seller's number and called him and said that, you know, what do you want for it? The auction ended at 1623 euros or something. And he said that he would like 2k for it. So on the first gen Touaregs, the cabin ventilation motor is just under the glove box here, and I gotta brush up my memory here. There's a couple of good instruction videos on YouTube on how to do it, so I'll check it out and then I will proceed with the job. Part of the thing here, and out she comes. Let's compare the two parts that we have here. So this is the quote-unquote new one. It says Nissan's on it, and this is the original one, and they fairly look the same. I thought to myself that why not let this be my first introduction into junk dealing business. I went to see the car, didn't pay much attention to it because I was sure that, you know, even for 2k it's an okay price. I just decided that let's remove all the excitement of waiting, and we have fanage. That's fucking excellent. And we have powerful fanage. Alright broskies, fucking footwell diaries part 2. Know that the fan works and this is where the problem is, so epic win here, but now we gotta just put it back for the car even with a blown engine, and I ended up getting it for 1900 euros. So fast forward to like today, so I didn't so nothing much happened on Thursday and Friday. So as we all know, dismantling shit is easy, but putting shit back together and building stuff is hard. I might have broken the tab on the last one, but it doesn't matter, it has like 7 screws holding it in. Should be all good. And this should be this ass job done. The next move I knew that I can make is, you saw from the video, I went to the Porsche repair shop. The owner came to see the car, said that maybe he'll buy it, and what I told him is what I'm gonna tell you now also. Let's see if my left knee paid the just price. So let's make it blow on myself. I don't feel any air coming. What about just engage them all, start up the car. We're at 23 degrees and there's air coming. I'll take it. Let's just close these two and let's see if it's stronger now here. Let's turn the bottom ones off. Yes, if I'm not in physical pain tomorrow because of this, then it was worth my time. I knew that what I'm gonna do with the car is that in Estonia, all the breakers yards, dismantlers, junkyards, call them how you want, they have this unified web page where you can basically submit your car for offers. In theory, there's like 51 junkyards in the mailing list. So I bought just the children's gouache brush set, and I'm just gonna put on the rust killer, and I have some rags to wipe the excess off. So let's see how it goes. By the way, I'm just in a supermarket car park. It's like 7 p.m. on Sunday, so if the weather is nice, you can pretty much work on your car anywhere. I don't know if it looks nicer, but I don't know, it feels nicer. So it's, you just dab it on and it's similar to paint. I hope it's doesn't affect the plastic, so I try to clear the handles up, but it kind of sticks to it. I'll just clean them a bit more just in case, but you know, I mean, even this white looks better than just the rust spots on the car. So you can just put in the information, pictures, whatever about the car and submit it there for them to make offers to you. So I knew that that's what's gonna happen with the car, and that's what I did. I think I did it on Friday, but I didn't get any good hits. I got a couple of responses, but everybody was like, oh, let me know what someone else offered you, and then hit me up and maybe I'll offer more. I've been adding these diesel injector cleaner and diesel treatment fluids from STP. I don't know if they do any good or not, but I don't know, it just makes you feel better, at least, if nothing else. So look at this 2005 Touareg. Pretty expensive model when new, and this is like a 1992 Passat. Now look at the door handle surroundings, nothing wrong here. Well, I mean, still has some Volkswagen rust on it, but this car is easily 13 or so years older than this one, so come on Volkswagen, what's this? Now it's Sunday, yesterday, and I did it again. I made the description a bit more precise, and today, Monday morning, I got first hits. So the first junkyard offered me 900 euros. I was like, screw you, in a polite way. Anyhow, a little back and forth with a couple of more guys saying that, you know, let me know if you get any offers and maybe I'll offer more. I'm fully embracing the diesel lifestyle. This is Karla Auto diesel fuel additive. This is kind of like a legendary thing among diesel guys in Estonia. Performance formula. It claims to lessen the fuel consumption, improve the quality of the fuel, improve the lubrication attributes of the fuel, cleaning the injectors and high pressure pump, keeps away the condensation in the fuel system, lowers the freezing temperature of the diesel down to -20 degrees, improves behavior of a cold engine, lessens the soot particles in the exhaust gases, and works also with the bioadditive diesel. No alcohol in it, so this is this kind of legendary Estonian diesel additive that all the diesel guys in Estonia use. So I have about 50 liters of fuel in the tank, so I'm gonna add it for the first time, and let's see if all this good stuff happens with the ever famous Karla Car diesel fuel additive. First batch of additive in, and I have to praise them for this little nifty nozzle on the bottle that makes adding this really simple. That's a really nice touch. So Karla Car diesel fuel additive, Karla Car really knows what they're doing with this nozzle thing, at least. Then this guy a little bit outside of Tallinn where we're driving called me and said, you know, your car is worth about 15 to 1700, and that's what I'm willing to pay. And after he had called me, I got another hit from another guy. I let him know that, you know, 1700 has been offered. A little update time. One improvement on the car. I managed to exchange the original rims and the terrible studded worn tires that were on there for these Porsche Cayenne original rims with some good studless tires, a lot of meat on them left. So, and I think the car looks nicer. That's a little improvement on the car. I really like it with the Porsche rims. And now today what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna do this test patch on the rust repair. So you can see that the Loctite rust remover has reacted with the rust, and these kind of like dark spots have formed, so something's happened. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna sand it down a little, and then I'm just gonna primer and spray paint over it. And I'm just gonna do this one test spot today to see how it will work in real life, because you know I'm not a painter, nor do I really know what I'm doing. I'm just guessing out of my ass. But yeah, I've dabbed up all the rusty spots with the rust remover and the main one here. You can see it also. Obviously there's nothing to do with this, you just have to cut it out and put a new piece in, but the rust remover is at least doing something with the rust. It's reacting in some way, so it's definitely better than nothing. He said 1800, so I let this guy where we're heading know that, you know, 1800 is the offer, and he said eventually, called me back and said he'll match it. So here we are. So I will get 1800 euros back for the Porsche, but I get to keep the wheels and tires and the battery, which is like almost brand new. This is all the stuff I'm planning to use. So this is the rust remover, Loctite SF7505 Super Rust Killer. And then I'm just gonna mask it first, then sand it a little. Then I got this primer here, K-Auto, it's made in Poland. I don't know if it's good or bad. And finally, we got this spray paint here. What's important is that I use the correct paint code of the car, and the paint on the car should be Black Magic, and the Motips according spray is this 51010. So this is gonna be my final step. But first of all, I'll start off by masking. So to start off, I only masked the handle so that I wouldn't scuff it when I'm sanding. This is how it looks like after I sanded it and cleaned it. What I did, I just used this 60 grit sandpaper to sand it, and then cleaned it up with this window cleaner, and also used a little bit of screwdriver just to get the excess off. And now it's cleaned the best as I can. So next I'm gonna just mask the door handle again, and you can see that by hand it's impossible to get all the rust off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the rust killer again, and I'm just gonna dab it on the rusty parts, but it feels nice and smooth after sanding, so it should take the paint on really nicely. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's better than nothing, and that's what I'm going for. In essence, what the Porsche cost me in the end was 100 euros, but I get to keep the wheels and tires and the battery. So the wheels and tires are gonna go under this car, my Touareg, and I'm just gonna keep the battery because it's a good new battery. It's a Bosch battery, bought in December, and I even got the guarantee papers for it. So I know with painting the prep work is vital, but I think I sanded enough, and I'm just gonna leave the rust killer on. I'm gonna help it dry here with the hair dryer that I brought with me, and then I'm gonna paint. It doesn't have to be ideal to look, it has to be 100% functional. That's what I'm going for. Trying to remove rust like this by hand is kind of pointless because there's so many spots on the car. You'll just stay removing the rust by hand for forever. There's rust. So next time, or if even at all, I'm gonna do the rest of the car. I'm just gonna get myself like a power tool with like a bristle end to like clean this, because sanding manually, I don't know, I value my fingers more. You see, I'm basically minus 1.5 finger, so doing it with a power tool makes 100% more sense. With masking, it's the same as with prepping. Always mask a bit more than less, because the overspray will be annoying to get off, and it will just look ugly, and you'll be disappointed in what you did if you get the overspray from, based on the one experience I've had this far. So I'm gonna make the surface warm now, and then I'm gonna start primering. For 100 euros, wheels and tires and a relatively new battery, I'll take that deal. So yeah, that's where I'm heading right now. Maybe I'll get some more footage, final footage of the car, but yeah, this is gonna be this kind of a talking section. I hope it was somewhat informative and entertaining. No going back now. Obviously I did a little test shot on the paper so that the spray would be nice and even, and now I think I'm gonna just keep it at one layer of primer, because this primer is really thick, and it will form an edge around the masking line. So I'd rather use the paint, which is most likely thinner than more primer. So I'm just gonna keep it at this one layer of primer. So this is why I only did a test spot. You can see how the primer has shriveled up there. So obviously it's not ideal to brush as a base layer. So next time I know that I have to remove all the rust and make the surface 100% smooth. But I rate this better than nothing, so I'll let it dry and then I'll paint over it. It's better than those ugly rusty spots or that peeling paint, so I rate this higher. I let it dry for 10 minutes as an extra. Now I'm gonna again heat it up, and then I'm gonna heat it with the actual paint, and I think I'm gonna do 3 layers. Didn't come out so good. Let me see if I can show it a bit better with the flash on. You can see it got a bit runny, so that means I painted a bit too much, but this is I mean, all I wanted to do is just to remove the rust and make it a bit nicer, and I think I achieved that, so I'm gonna add another 2 layers. Also, as a note, sanding, painting, whatever you're doing, definitely eyewear and mouth protection job, because definitely you want to protect your eyes and lungs. So I don't have any today, so I'm not gonna do any more for that reason also. So no power tools, no protection, yeah. But let's see how this test spot goes. All right, I'll give you a quick little walk around of the car from the outside, how it sits today. So it has these Porsche Cayenne rims under it. I love the way they look, even though the ET brought out these wheels 7 further millimeters, they're still a bit too inside, and the car is on the loading level at the moment for all the Stancy boys. So it looks solid. I mean, I don't ask for anything more. So as you can see, I've dabbed up most of these rust spots with the rust remover, and today what I did was, so I did this little fix today. So what we learned from this is that I don't want to leave the rust remover under it. I have to clean it 100% from the rust and then primer it and paint it, and also I have to obtain myself some sort of surgical tooth repair type of tool, so I can chip away from the paint and I could make like this uniform edge for painting, and then I'll just mask the edge and it will not have this like lip as it has right now. But I mean, it's 100% better than just rust or this rust remover covered area. So I mean, let's just take a little look at this, and then take a look at this. I mean, this painted area, it looks way better than just this dirty white ex-rusty area. So but yeah, I mean, this is how the car sits today. So I'm gonna reveal a little bit of the costs related to this car. So I've spent I paid 1,576 euros for the car, 100 euros for the electrician, and then about another 200 to get the front brake lines changed, and odds and ends here and there. So this car owes me about 2,000 euros, and I've got it listed for 3,000 euros, 2,100 actually, because from the Cayenne I got a new battery that was in the Cayenne and the wheels, and that was 100 euros for me. So I bought the Cayenne for 1,900 and sold it for 1,800 euros, and out of the Cayenne I got the wheels and the brand new Bosch battery, near brand new. So yeah, this is the situation today. Inside is all the same. I've just cleaned it up, and still I haven't put in these trim pieces because this carpet will need drying out. Yeah, it's still wet, so but I can't dry it unless the weather gets real warm, and I can just leave it out to dry in the sun. But other than that, I mean, this is the sit rep. Yeah, a rookie junk dealer's diaries.